Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining another Google Hangout from IBM Integration. So I'm joined here today by Arif, and what we're going to be covering today is how to secure and control your mobile applications with IBM DataPower Gateway appliances. So Arif, do you want to give us a bit of introduction about your background and what you do within IBM?
Sure, thanks, James. I'm Arif Siddiqui. I have product and offering management responsibilities for IBM's API management and DataPower Gateway solution. Prior to that role, I have spent time worldwide in consulting, helping large organizations implement, design, and architect their IT solutions. And prior to that, I have held leadership positions in engineering.
Awesome, thank you very much. So how about you tell us a bit about what is IBM DataPower and what value can it provide to our clients?
Sure. So DataPower is a purpose-built security and integration gateway that provides security, traffic management, connectivity, and optimized access to a wide variety of workloads. These include, but are not limited to, mobile, API, web, and cloud workloads. So in essence, if you think about it, it's really a controller for your digital channels that acts as a gatekeeper, allowing you to centralize and offload critical functions to enforce consistent security and control policies, while enabling you to offload repeatable tasks to allow your backend infrastructure to more efficiently scale to meet high volume demands that you inevitably is likely to occur with mobile traffic. Now, the gateways are available in two form factors. There's a physical all-in-one hardware form factor, where what IBM gives you is a hardware appliance that gives you physical security and a purpose-built stack to provide you the security control and optimization we just talked about. And there's a virtual appliance form factor as well that is there for deployment on hypervisor and cloud environments.
Cool. So is there any difference in the kind of function and capability between the physical and the virtual, or are they identical or near identical in terms of that?
So yeah, so they are identical in terms of the workload processing capabilities they provide. Their look and feel, their touch points. What is different is that with physical appliance, we give you the hardware, right? And it's an all-in-one solution that gives you physical security. There are specific physical security capabilities built into the hardware. It is not a generic server. Whereas with our virtual appliances, you deploy them in a hypervisor environment or a cloud environment where someone in your organization, or if you're using a public cloud platform, the platform provides the hardware and the underlying hypervisor that DataPower runs on.
Okay, cool. So if I was, let's say I'm deploying a mobile application, either it's perhaps my first as a client or perhaps one of many, and I'm looking at improving my infrastructure. So I make my choice between this physical or virtual, depending on my kind of data center solution. What about security of traffic from that mobile app into my enterprise? What role does DataPower play there? How much of it is kind of out of the box, and how much is down to me as a client to configure and manage myself?
Sure. So great question. So when you look at some of the common challenges that organizations face when dealing with mobile applications, security is paramount, right? Because of this always on, from anywhere, at any time access that mobile devices actually enable. So some of the questions that customers have to deal with is, how do I protect my backend infrastructure and applications from harmful workloads and unauthorized mobile users and apps, right? So what DataPower allows you to do to address that challenge that you have is to enforce consistent security policies at a single gateway entry point for all of your mobile traffic, regardless of whether it is a native application, a hybrid, or a mobile web application. So what you get is a single mobile security gateway, which is purpose-built, that you can deploy at the edge of your enterprise that allows you to enforce consistent security policies providing you threat protection, validation, and filtering of your content before it reaches the backend. In addition, it provides for centralized application, API, and user-level authentication and authorization enforcement. And this includes advanced access capabilities such as one-time passwords for your mobile applications, multi-factor authentication, single sign-on, and the like. So that's the security bit, right? Now, if you think about some of the other challenges customers have to face when deploying mobile applications, they have to figure out how to scale their backend infrastructure and how to optimize the user experience on the front end while enabling rapid connectivity. So some of the questions you may ask is, how do I limit or shape my mobile traffic based off of my service level agreements, or perhaps availability of my backend systems, right? How do I rapidly connect my mobile applications to my backend infrastructure and applications? And that would include middleware, backend application servers, or Z systems. And how do I improve the response time of my user and reduce the backend load on my systems? So for that, what DataPower provides to address that is the ability to control mobile workloads, to enforce service level agreements, and protect backends. So DataPower gives you the ability to provide differentiated levels of service for your mobile apps and APIs by enforcing rate limits and enforcing service level agreements between the mobile application and the backend service providers. In addition, it provides capabilities where you can actually limit or shape your traffic based off of your backend infrastructure capacity, and also route traffic based off of mobile application content. So that helps scale your backend infrastructure because it can then offload these critical security and traffic management functions onto the DataPower Gateway. In addition to that, DataPower allows you to accelerate your mobile traffic, right? Thus enhancing the user experience that the mobile application user sees, and also offload workload from backend to scale. So what you get as a result is fast response times for the user, so they have a better experience on the front end, and also reduced load on your backend infrastructure. And that happens by offloading repeatable tasks from your backend infrastructure, right? This includes things like offloading SSL and TLS termination, offloading security and threat protection capabilities, and also JSON and XML processing from backend into the gateway. In addition to that, the DataPower Gateways provide the ability to cache response data from your backend infrastructure to help optimize or enhance the front-end user experience, and also provide intelligent load distribution capabilities to the backend based off of dynamic real-time topology and workload situation. So basically, what you're doing is you got your gateways enabling you to enforce consistent security and control policies while allowing your backend infrastructure to scale and improving the user experience on the front end at the same time.
Okay, cool. So if I've got my backend infrastructure on this side, I've got my DataPower in the middle, and then X number of connections and mobile applications on the right-hand side here. Sure. So I would define different policies that would apply to different types of traffic from those apps, and they would then effectively protect my backend from rate limiting security, some transport level security stuff, the whole lot.
Absolutely. So DataPower, one of the values that DataPower provides is it's configuration and policy driven. So it's very easy to configure to secure, control, connect, and optimize your workload. So some of the features from a security perspective that DataPower provides is at a transport layer, you can offload SSL and TLS to it because it has purpose-built software and hardware to process cryptography. But in addition to that, your mobile traffic mainly consumes enterprise data, utilizing REST interfaces nowadays, and with JSON and XML as the payload. Now, these payloads could have harmful workloads or threats within them. So DataPower provides out-of-the-box JSON and XML threat protection. Once again, to make sure that no harmful payload reaches the backend. And anything that reaches the backend actually contains the data it is actually expecting to process. In addition, it provides rate limiting and SLA enforcement, as we discussed. It has the ability to do schema validation at very high speed. So once again, to make sure that the backend applications, middleware, and application servers and Z systems actually get the data they expect. There's also the ability to do message level encryption and digital signature, both from JSON and XML messages. There are standards that DataPower implements, and these are available in the form of policies that you can just drag and drop, right? So what that means is JSON web encryption, JSON web signature, XML encryption, XML digital signature standards that you apply at the message level, right? This is to basically allow non-repudiation to happen, right? If you're getting data, for example, it's a mobile application and you want to provide non-repudiation, you could be doing digital signatures. You could be doing message level encryption to provide confidentiality as traffic flows downstream. And in addition, obviously, DataPower provides as a security integration gateway, it provides authentication and authorization capabilities. It implements a number of standards and integrates with a number of IBM and non-IBM identity and access management solutions. And when we talk about mobile applications, it's probably prudent to call out DataPower support for JSON Web Token, which is very commonly used in mobile applications, along with OAuth 2.0 support. And in addition to that, a very critical functionality that DataPower provides is the ability to translate security tokens. So a lot of times, if you have a mobile application, it may be using basic authentication or HTML form-based login to provide credentials. But your backend infrastructure may accept, if you are an IBM shop, may accept LTPA tokens. If you're a Microsoft shop, you may need to send a Kerberos or Spinego token. It may be a SAML, the backend may require a SAML token. So DataPower gives you the ability to convert the incoming token from your mobile device or application to what your backend infrastructure and application needs.
Okay, cool. So what I'm hearing is there's a ton of really cool and complex stuff that we're doing around effectively schema, message level security, payloads that are coming in, and we abstract as much of that as possible out to kind of a policy architecture for the user. We do some really cool stuff with access management. So if I sign in with a token, I'll pass it the whole way through, giving a seamless journey for the user experience on the mobile side.
Correct.
So the big message that obviously we push out as IBM a lot is around mobile first. What was formerly IBM WorkCloud is now being rebranded a platform within there. Right. What is the DataPower kind of positioning and integration with mobile first? Do they play well together? Are they kind of separate? What should clients and users be thinking about in relation to IBM DataPower and IBM Mobile First?
Okay, great. Yeah, great question. So DataPower and IBM Mobile First Platform Foundation, which was formerly known as WorkLight, absolutely work and play together. There is integration between the two. And DataPower can act as a mobile gateway for applications, mobile applications that is, regardless of what type of native, hybrid, or mobile web that are managed by IBM Mobile First Platform. It can certainly act as a mobile gateway and enforce security, control, connectivity, and optimization capabilities we just talked about. Now, what's interesting is majority of mobile applications nowadays, up to 70%, according to some estimates from analysts, are exposed. The enterprise data that's exposed to mobile application is exposed in the form of REST services or APIs. Now, when you look at that statistics and look at what DataPower provides, it actually, when mobile applications are consuming enterprise data in the form of REST services or APIs, it actually acts as a mobile API gateway, allowing you to protect the workload, authenticate and authorize your mobile applications, the users, or the API calls themselves, while allowing you to basically offload some critical functionality from your backend and enhancing the front-end user experience as well at the same time. And if I tie that into the larger IBM portfolio, IBM provides a solution called IBM API Management that allows users to create, publish, secure, socialize, and analyze the usage of APIs. And obviously, it works with mobile applications and integrates with IBM's mobile-first platform. And that solution actually mandates the use of DataPower, because DataPower is actually the API gateway runtime that enforces API security and control policies when the mobile applications are making calls to actually access enterprise data.
And again, we're making that simple for the user, right? So I go into the API management environment, I find my runtime policy, and I push that down with our built-in integration into DataPower. There's nothing else that the user really needs to know in terms of getting a REST API up and running through their mobile application.
Yes, absolutely, right. So the whole point is making it as easy, simple, and straightforward as possible for the user to create and publish and secure and control their APIs. So what the user does is, it's mostly policy-driven, it's configuration-driven, it's drag and drop. You can also automate it. So the whole point is it does not require coding, right? So it's policy and configuration-driven rather than code-driven, right? Yes, obviously you can actually automate tasks through coding, but the whole point is it's simple for the user to actually accomplish these tasks, and you don't have to go through a complete software development lifecycle, meaning as you change policies, you don't have to run through testing it in a development environment and then migrating it through the lower environments into staging and production, right? The whole system is supposed to be dynamic and runtime changeable. So as you make changes, whether you're changing security policies or control policies, they are basically enforced in real time without requiring you to go through the old style SDLC lifecycle.
Cool. So we've kind of focused pretty heavily on what you might call slightly more in trend technology, so REST API, JSON payloads, mobile applications, etc. Let's say that I'm a client who's been heavily invested in IBM DataPower for a while. I'm kind of used to a web services world, using SOAP rather than REST. What have we done to make sure it's easy for these guys to transition to using the DataPower gateway as a mobile throughput? Have we done much in change? Is it still kind of the same skill set? Is it going to be easy for clients to transition to this kind of new world?
Yeah, so a really good question. So DataPower in the early 2000s basically solved the challenges that the organizations faced dealing with their SOA and BDB workloads, right? And for the past 4 and 5 years, since 2010-11 timeframe, we have expanded that focus to allow our customers to perform similar types of security, traffic management, connectivity, and optimization policies to a much larger set of workloads, including mobile, web, and API workloads, right? So the way we have done it is, first of all, we have made it just as we processed within DataPower, we optimized and secured everything, right? So just as we did in the SOA space, we have optimized and secured the processing of JSON payloads on DataPower. It does support REST, just as it supported web services and web services STAR standards. It supports REST and JSON specific standards, including, as I mentioned before, JSON web encryption, JSON web signature, JSON web token, OAuth. So all the relevant standards that are applicable in the mobile space. The way we have done it is by extending the same skill set that you had, which is configuration and policy driven, not coding. It's drag and drop, right? And we provide all these capabilities out of the box. You just basically wire them together to perform the function that you want, and it's enabled and ready to be enforced. Now, one of the things I should point out is, as it is, DataPower is quite easy and straightforward to configure to enforce all these policies, right? Whether you're enforcing security policies and centralizing them so you can have consistent security control enforcement, or offloading tasks from your backend. What we have done is we have created this concept of a configuration pattern, right? You can think of it as accelerators. These are pre-built and pre-tested flows that actually tackle a particular problem. And we ship a number of them within DataPower, specifically for mobile workloads, where you can just plug in environment-specific variables, and then you have a working configuration on DataPower that you can use very, very quickly.
Very nice. So pattern-based development and deployment straight out of the box, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely.
So I think what I'm going to do is we'll see how much I've taken in. So I'm going to do a little recap, and then feel free to jump in after and let me know if you think I've missed anything important. So DataPower solves a lot of common challenges. So sitting at the edge of your enterprise, whether it be a physical or a virtual appliance, very applicable to new mobile workloads through REST interface, passing JSON payloads. We have very solid integration into the other IBM access management tools, should you want to do kind of passing on tokens, authentication, et cetera, et cetera. We integrate nicely with IBM Mobile First, so please don't think of us as a separate solution. We are complementary. It is very easy if you are an existing DataPower customer to basically switch over from kind of web services, standard support and actually SOAP into REST JSON mobile. We're trying to make it easy for you guys. And to make it even better, we've actually included a bunch of patterns out the box. You stick in your environment variables, click deploy, and that should give you a gateway up and running, fulfilling what you want it to do. Is that a fair summary? Have I missed anything particularly important?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very concise and great summary there. Just wanted to add, since you mentioned IBM's access management offerings, so IBM's security division offers IBM Security Access Manager for mobile product, which provides advanced access management and enforcement capabilities for mobile traffic specifically. And DataPower integrates, out of the box with IBM and non-IBM identity and access management systems out of the box. But in addition to that support, we actually introduced last year advanced access enforcement that ISAM for mobile provides that has been embedded into DataPower Gateways as an optional integrated module. So basically what we have done is, brought together the best of both worlds, which is DataPower and advanced access management from ISAM for mobile. And this capability includes enforcement of one-time passwords, multi-factor authentication, mobile single sign-on, and context-based access. Thus allowing our users to utilize DataPower as a single converged gateway for securing all of their mobile traffic, regardless of whether they have a native, a hybrid, or a mobile web application, while basically enabling them to enforce consistent security and control policies. So this has been extremely well received by the users who've tried it and who we have spoken to. So just wanted to point that out, that DataPower now has embedded advanced access management capabilities that basically was previously available in ISAM for mobile. Now you can use DataPower as a consolidated gateway due to that functionality.
Awesome. So I guess in terms of wrapping up, so if someone wanted to find out more about IBM DataPower, I guess obviously the first option is Google it, and will be the first IBM link on there, which will give you links off to various pages. Is there anywhere else that you recommend, a client, whether there's someone who's kind of line of business or perhaps a developer going, or would you suggest that the IBM.com page is the best starting place?
Yeah, we certainly have a number of additional artifacts and collateral that should be useful to our users. We will be adding links to those. We have presentations that cover common use cases for DataPower, including how customers can use DataPower to secure and rapidly connect mobile applications with their enterprise backend services and infrastructure. We also have our YouTube channel where we have a number of videos, and we are planning to actually add a number more. So those are two additional resources that we will provide link to at the end of the session. that our customers can look into. There's also a number of extremely critical and quite well-written articles on DeveloperWorks that actually talk about how DataPower integrates with offerings like mobile-first platform or what it provides for mobile applications in general. So we'll be providing links to those.
Awesome. So IBM.com, SlideShare, YouTube, Twitter, and DeveloperWorks. And what we'll do is, if you look just below the video, we'll make sure that all the links are in there for people to follow. So no more questions from me today. Is there anything that you would like to close out on? If not, we can wrap it up there.
No, I think we're good. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for hosting the session and inviting me to talk about DataPower and how it actually helps our customers with their mobile needs.
No problem. Thank you very much for your time. And everyone who is viewing this, please look out for the next one in the series. I'm actually standing in for this week, so I'm not sure what's coming next. But if you go on our YouTube channel, you'll see a series of events that we're hosting here from Hersley. We host it, and then we're getting the relevant expert. We're doing our Q&A session. Hopefully it provides you some value. So thank you very much for listening. Cheers.
Thanks, James. Take care.